Morning to you, morning to you at home too. Yes, because you might remember last year we talked about that big row at airports when they were found to be charging passengers VAT in the shops, but then claiming all of that back for themselves. You'll remember WH Smith was at the centre of the controversy, but it does apply to other retailers as well. So the point is they can claim back the VAT if you're travelling outside the EU. Now that's currently 20%, so they can claim that back on the stuff you buy in the shops. Now the shops know that you're leaving the European Union by looking at your boarding pass, and once they know that, they should then give you a discount, give you the VAT back. But many of them weren't doing it. Well, since then, most of the airport retailers have signed up to a new code of conduct. That means that they are now more upfront about what happens to the tax. Well, last year, WH Smith said it would refund the VAT on all purchases over £6. This week, Boots said it would do the same on all purchases over £5. But some retailers are still keeping some or all of the VAT. Well, the Retail Ombudsman has told Breakfast that all of them should now have changed their practices, and Boots, well, yes, it's doing it, but it should have done it well before now. Well, Charlotte Turner is with me. She's a travel retail expert from TRBusiness magazine. Good morning to you. A simple question, but why are we still talking about this? Because it was the big controversy last year. They all said, look, we'll change how we do it, and they're not all doing it.
It's a good question and one that does need to be answered. However, it's a very complicated process. You've got to realise there are lots of different retailers, lots of different company pricing policies that we're trying to sort of, level the playing field across all these different companies. It's quite an extraordinary process, and as you mentioned, there is this code of practice or a code of conduct which along with the Airport Operators Association that's been implemented, and 40 retailers have signed up to that across UK airports. So there's definitely movement happening, and as you said, it's now put pressure on Boots to come forward and now reimburse its customers the VAT relief that it benefits from.
Yeah, and what is pushing them to do this? Is it the bad reputation they'd get if they didn't do it? Because as we said, WH Smith was at the centre of the row before. I mean, because you might say, yeah, welcome news that Boots is now doing it, but why has it taken so long?
Of course, well, Boots have they conducted a year-long review, and this is the outcome of it. I think previously some of the companies believed that they were taking this VAT relief and they were actually using it to offer low prices to all its customers across its network of stores in airports or outside of the airports, and that was part of their pricing policy and their business model. Of course, now Boots have come out and said that they can now offer this VAT scheme additionally as well on products that are over £6.
Okay, so let's talk about the rules. So if I'm going to an airport today, what can I reasonably expect to pay if I'm travelling outside of the EU?
Right, if you're travelling outside the EU, it's different per retailer, but if you're going into Boots, for instance, you can, if you're travelling outside of the EU, you can claim back that 20% VAT, providing obviously that you show your boarding pass, which is a requirement now.
And you say claim it back. Will I just be offered a discount at the till? Is it that the price gets 20% cheaper, or do I have to fill in forms and that sort of thing?
No forms are required, but you will obviously need to have your boarding pass scanned to get that relief. And also there are obviously different rules for world duty free as well. Duty free shopping is a different set of regulations at the same time as well.
Good stuff. Thank you for clarifying. I know it's something that we'll all be talking about. Charlotte, really good to talk to you. Charlotte Turner there from TR Business.